Hey, I'm just going to go ahead and use this graph to demonstrate proportional relationships. Sometimes you're going to see graphs and you need to know if they're proportional or data tables. So I have this graph with the y-axis labeled up top there with the length of fencing in meters, and they're counting by 20s is what they're labeling on there, but you can see the halfway points. So really they're counting by tens. And on the y-axis that runs across the bottom, they're talking about time in hours. Okay, so it's important to know that you always do rise over run, so X and then Y. So I've created a data table off to the side there that has a column for X and a column for Y. One important point to look for is if something is proportional on a graph, you're going to see it run through the origin. The origin is that point where you find 0, 0, where X and Y meet. You can see that there is a dot right at the 0, 0, or the origin. Therefore, that's one reason why it should be proportionate. Now, the other is, do we see a consistent pattern at certain checkpoints? So if I were to look where this one crosses, I have a hard time kind of deciding if that one is maybe at 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. I would not use that point. I would find where they actually cross at an interval. So you can see at 2 hours, it is exactly on the line that marks 30. So for the X, which is the time, I'm going to say 2. And for the Y, which is the distance in meters, I'm going to say 30. If I continued over to the next point where they actually cross lines, where the dot is, okay, you can see that 4 hours, you are going to have 60 meters of fencing completed. Had this extended even further, I probably would start noticing that 6 hours is going to end up at the 90. You can kind of see as it's extending, it's getting to that point. I could also maybe get a better estimation there of those halfway points. 1 hour might be 15, 3 hours might be 45. So yes, if it goes through the origin, creates a straight line, then this is an example of a proportional relationship. Okay. You'll see more problems like this if you want to practice on Khan Academy.